The Milwaukee Brewers have easily been one of the best teams in all of baseball in 2021. Pitching has been stellar, the offense has been good, and it's overall been a really good team, one that can legitimately win a World Series title. As great as this Brewers team has been, there is someone pretty notable missing from the group, and that someone is Ryan Braun. After becoming a free agent when the Brewers paid him a $4 million buyout, Braun became a free agent for the first time in his career. He failed to return to the Brewers or find a new team, not playing a single game in 2021, just recently decided to hang up the cleats for good and officially announced his retirement from baseball. Ryan Braun is a baseball legend, and surely a Brewers legend. He will forever be remembered, but will it be for the right reasons? With all the success that gets talked about when Braun's name is brought up, there is also plenty of controversy. At the end of the day, the question that needs to be asked is, now that Ryan Braun is out of baseball, is his legacy broken? Take a second to like this video, and if you're new to the channel and end up enjoying this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button for future baseball content. Ryan Braun was a big deal coming out of high school, getting recruited by some big schools like Stanford University and the University of California, Berkeley, but chose to go to the University of Miami instead. Why? Girls. According to Braun himself, the girls were the deal closer on the recruiting trip. In college, he did not disappoint, being named National Freshman of the Year his first year, and during his junior year almost hit 400 with a slugging percentage over .720. He was incredible, so much so to the point where the Milwaukee Brewers drafted him with their first pick in the 2005 draft, 5th overall, and signed him to a $2.45 million deal. A couple of years later, the Brewers had Braun come to spring training, and this was the start of something incredibly special. Braun played just 11 spring training games that spring, hitting 5 home runs, which was 10th in the league, and 15 RBIs, which was 2nd. Now, it is just spring training, so that usually doesn't mean much, but in this case, I think it did. It didn't take Braun long to hit his first major league home run when the 2007 season started, as he'd go on to become the fastest player in Brewers history to hit 10 home runs, hitting the 10th one in his 38th game, his 15th home run in his 50th game, and his 20th in his 64th game, making him the fastest to those milestone home runs since Albert Pujols in 2001. He finished his rookie season with a .324 batting average, a .634 slugging percentage, and an OPS over 1,000. It was so dominant of a year that some people to this day call it the best rookie season in the history of baseball. Braun had potential, but it was more than just potential. He was already a major league star, and in the span of a few years, Braun started the All-Star game multiple times, won Silver Sluggers, came in 3rd in the Home Run Derby, and was top 3rd in the MVP voting. 2011 arrived, and Braun went crazy. In 2011, Ryan Braun led the National League in slugging percentage, OPS, and extra base hits. He had a 30-30 season and became the first Brewers player to have 3 100-run and 100 RBI seasons, helping his team win the National League Central Division title. And he sure did not stop hitting when the postseason arrived, getting 17 hits, driving in the most runs on the team, and hitting over 400, going on to win the MVP award. Ryan Braun was an absolute monster, a menace on all cylinders. He could hit for average, he could hit for power, he could run, he could play defense, he could do it all. It was flat out incredible. And then the drama began. Before the 2012 season, Braun appealed a positive drug test and potential 50-game suspension, arguing that his urine sample was mishandled by the test collector, Dino Lorenzi Jr. According to the Daily News, a source had this to say on Braun's positive test, quote, "Insanely high, the highest ever for anyone who has ever taken a test, twice the level of the highest test ever taken," end quote. Major League Baseball's protocol with testing is that the urine sample should be sent to the lab the same day they are collected. But in this scenario, it did not get there for a couple of days because Lorenzi stated that no FedEx delivery center was open. So, by following protocol, he stored the samples in a Rubbermaid container and dropped them off at an open FedEx center on Monday, 2 days later than it was collected. Braun raised suspicion toward Lorenzi, arguing that his sample was tampered with. He won the case by a technicality, with it being determined by the league that Braun brought up valid points in why and how his urine sample was mishandled, with Braun going on to say that he is innocent and the truth is on his side.
If I had done this intentionally or unintentionally, I'd be the first one to step up and say, I did it. I truly believe in my heart, and I would bet my life that this substance never entered my body at any point.
And during spring training in 2012, Braun reportedly made a speech about Dino Lorenzi Jr., the urine sampler, attacking his integrity, claiming that he tampered with the PED test because he was a Cubs fan, and even going as far as to suggest that he did it because he was anti-Semitic toward Braun, who is Jewish. He was basically trying to ruin this man's life, a sample collector. As for the 2012 season, he almost won the damn MVP again, leading the National League in home runs, OPS, extra base hits, driving in 112 runs and 30 stolen bases, finishing second in the MVP voting behind only Buster Posey. But unfortunately for Braun, the steroid drama was far from over. In February of 2013, it was reported by Yahoo Sports that Ryan Braun's name was found 3 times in records of Biogenesis of America, a clinic in Coral Gables which is alleged to have given out PEDs to a number of players who had tested positive. And there was even an entry that stated that Braun owed the clinic between $20,000 and $30,000. Braun, of course, denied the use of steroids or any involvement with this clinic, but soon after, ESPN's Outside the Lines got a new Biogenesis document from April of 2012 which listed Braun along with 3 other players, and on July 22, 2013, Major League Baseball suspended Ryan Braun for the rest of the season, including the postseason, for his involvement with the clinic, with Braun even losing $3.25 million and not appealing the suspension this time. It was official. Ryan Braun had been taking steroids, and people were not happy. Well, some were actually, with there even being reports that pretty much the entire Brewers team was happy to see him get suspended after they found out the truth. Ouch. Everyone turned on Braun, rightfully so. He had lied to so many people and tried so hard to hurt the reputation of Dino Lorenzi Jr., who was just simply doing his job as a sample collector. Braun served his suspension and went on to apologize, admitting that he used performance-enhancing drugs during the 2011 season, saying that using steroids was a big mistake and that he should have admitted that mistake right away. He also apologized to Dino Lorenzi Jr., saying he deeply regretted the comments he made about him. Apologizing is what he had to do, of course, but at this point, in a way, it just made things worse. Braun lied to his family, his friends, his teammates, and his fans. There's no coming back from that. But worst of all, it's what he did to Dino Lorenzi Jr. that really makes Braun look bad. After Braun admitted to lying, he did go and talk to Lorenzi Jr., with Lorenzi Jr. actually being the bigger person and inviting Braun along with his then fiancée to their home for dinner, with the two reportedly making amends. That's definitely something you want to hear, even if it doesn't necessarily fix everything. After missing the rest of 2013, Braun returned in 2014, which was a down year for his standards, but he did pick it back up in 2015, becoming an all-star for the 6th time in his career, slugging almost .500 with an OPS of .869. 2016 was Braun's best season since the 2012 MVP runner-up year, as he'd hit over .300 with an OPS over .900. And from 2017 on, Ryan Braun was solid, going on to help get the Brewers back to the postseason in 2018, a team that was a game away from a World Series appearance, along with pushing them to the wild card game in 2019, where they would actually have a lead late before Juan Soto promptly broke every heart in Wisconsin. His final year would take place in the pandemic-plagued shortened 2020 season, where he hit 8 home runs with a .769 OPS in 39 games, and after not finding a job with any team up until just recently, Braun decided to retire, releasing a video saying as such. So Ryan Braun is officially retired and out of the game, and I'm going to bring up the question yet again. Does Ryan Braun have a broken legacy? In my opinion, he absolutely does, because he's never going to have respect by most fans and people around the game of baseball. He cheated, he lied about it, and tried to ruin a man's life in the process, someone who is completely innocent and just trying to do his job. He was an incredible player, no doubt, and still probably would have been without ever have taken steroids, just like every steroid user. In that regard, he'll always have Brewers fans' backs. They always loved him and still do to this day. I mean, if they're going to do this to a guy after he cheated and lied to them, I think they're always going to be by his side. But as far as so many fans of literally every other team, along with some of the players that he lied to, yeah, I don't think he'll ever be getting their love and support, at least not for a very, very long time. Ryan Braun will always be a Brewers legend, someone who really helped the franchise get to some successful times. But you can't ever ignore or hide what he did, even if so many years ago. I'm sure lots of people are over it, no doubt, but that doesn't stop people from still looking at him a certain way, with some even despising him. That's why Ryan Braun's legacy is broken. Let me know how you feel about Ryan Braun, and thank you for watching.